All right. Well, hey, leaders. Thanks for taking a few minutes to watch this. But hey, it's going to save you from staying over on a Sunday afternoon and going hangry. So, hey, just really, I'm going to try to do this in about 5 minutes or so. But I thought it would be more responsible than just sending you a PowerPoint. So, I just wanted to talk through this a little bit so you know what to expect this summer at Hume, because whether or not you realize it, if you are a middle school leader coming to Hume this summer, we are less than 2 weeks away. So if you haven't started on that blood pressure medicine, or if your subscription needs to be refilled, don't wait. Okay, I'm kidding. Kind of. Yeah. So, anyways, here we go. Let's just run through this real quick. Hey, summer camp is, it's designed to be this amazing experience for students. Obviously, this year is going to be a little bit different as we'll be partnering with Hume, this incredible organization that's not just nationwide, but really worldwide. And Hume utilizes some traditional elements, but also some really creative elements. I'm looking forward to, like, full production films and stage theatrics, some innovative concepts. So that's what camp looks like this summer. In regards to your role at camp, I just want you to notice that very first word there, care. And I think that's one of the most important things that you could know about your role at camp. Your role at camp is, not to be the most popular leader, not to be seen as super cool or trendy or whatever. But your role at camp, and I want every leader to hear this, is to care for students. That's why you're coming to camp, to care for students. By leading small group times or helping small group times. If you're coming as an assistant to a leader, it's to assist that leader to make sure that the small group is awesome. It's to ensure, student safety. Sometimes you're going to be seen as the uncool leader, right? Because you're going to have to put your foot down and say, hey, you know what? Maybe at home, but not here. Not a good idea. And then also, in regards to your role at camp, hey, we need you as leaders really to be leaders. You know what? To be on time, to have the best attitudes, to be optimistic, to be faith-filled, just to be awesome examples, that sort of thing, and just to make sure that students have the very best week of their lives. That's your role at camp, nothing else. And if you have any questions about that, please don't hesitate to ask. In regards to what to bring, there's not a whole lot of new things. You can see the list there, Bible notebook, something to write with, a flashlight. I think a flashlight's super helpful. A sleeping bag. As far as I can understand, the sleeping situation in the cabins is going to be, like a mattress with a sheet over it. So you'll either want to have a sleeping bag and or bring a sheet and like a blanket to sleep with. So toiletries, obviously the essentials, maybe a couple extra. Middle school leaders, even some of you high school guy leaders, you might want to have a few extras. Warm and cool clothes. You want to be ready for anything. A jacket, just in case we get some showers or something. Ladies, if you can help enforce modest one-piece swimsuits, and they actually say no tankinis. And then 2 to 3 towels for swimming, showering. There's no towels there, so you want to bring a towel or two, maybe even 3 for swimming, showering, that sort of thing. A water bottle. I think this is super critical. My wife stays on me on drinking like 90 or like 100 ounces of water a day. So maybe you don't need quite that much, but be sure to bring a water bottle. And they recommend, at least for students, maybe not for you as leaders, but about $60 of spending money. I'm sure that's probably more just for like Hume merchandise. So that's what to bring. In regards to what not to bring, obviously drugs, right? Always a good thing, unless those are prescribed by a doctor. If you need any help with meds or have any questions, feel free to talk to me beforehand or to the camp nurse. There's going to be at least one nurse there for Hume. Obviously, no alcohol, tobacco, fireworks, firearms. No matter how crazy the students drive you during the week, there's to be no alcohol, tobacco, fireworks, or firearms. Sorry, it's probably a really bad joke. None of that at camp. And then as far as electronic devices, you'll see that note there for cell phones and like tablets and things. That is for students. Okay, that's not for you. Please make sure you have a cell phone, a charger. You might want to have a tablet to take some notes during the messages to be prepared, for your group. But please have a cell phone. That's how we'll communicate with each other. And if you're a middle school leader, please, or really any leader, make sure that the students in your group, their parents have your number. Okay, we want them to have your phone number so they can contact you, see how their student is doing, to check in. And some of our middle school students may even need to call home a few times during the week. Just a heads up there. Obviously, we don't want students walking around the camp and cabin with a phone. That's going to be super confusing to other students. But if they need to call home, please make your phone available. That is definitely okay. But we don't want them, like checking scores to their favorite team or whatever. You can look at the schedule for the week. Not a ton of difference. There is a little bit more free time than what we were used to at Diverge. You can see we should be checking in around 3, which means we'll be leaving here. We'll be leaving the church in between probably 10 and 11 on Monday. I will try to nail that down this week. I'm sorry, I can't say that more definitively, but it'll probably be about 10:30. But again, I'll confirm that. Here's our schedule. Tuesday through Friday. There's an early morning worship option. Seems pretty self-explanatory, but I'm sure we'll learn a little bit more about that when we get there. And then there is a counselor meeting every morning at 8:30. So hey, entrust some of your leader, more mature students, if you have any of those in your group, to kind of oversee that cabin cleanup, keep the cabins looking good. And again, I won't insult your intelligence by going through each hour, but you can see that there. We'll be leaving Saturday morning, both weeks, around 9 o'clock, which again puts us home around 12:30 in the afternoon. So we won't be stopping for lunch. I did not say this, but when we leave for like that morning, I'm sorry, I'm going a little crazy here with the slides, looking for our departure time. Like I said, about 10:15, 10:30, somewhere in there. We won't be stopping for lunch. So again, as you contact your students to let them know that they're in your group, I know some of you guys have done that. If you don't know who's in your group, please contact me ASAP so I can get you those names and you can contact them. To talk to them about the parents about cell phone policy, and also to remind them to bring a bag lunch. That is super important. Okay, we don't want any students forgetting about that because we don't want to stop. Okay, one of our biggest uncertainties, and this, guys, really, it's not a huge deal, but the Spirit Day theme is like lions and tigers. This jungle idea. Students can be, a lion or a large cat, some type of insect, anything that comes to your mind in regards to the jungle. So again, there's our theme, Kajua, and we'll be hearing more about that. But there is a theme day. Hey, as leaders, have fun with it. Help your students have fun with it. It sounded like a lot of fun, and like a lot of people will be getting into it. Obviously, we don't know a lot about it, but it seems like it'll be a ton of fun. So if you can encourage them to do that, maybe it's just like face paint or a mask or something, I don't know. But any ideas you have, I'm sure Pinterest has some great ideas. And middle school week, you see some information there about John Michael Hinton. Seems like a really interesting guy for our middle schoolers, pretty creative. High school, Brian Holland. You can, both are West Coast guys, but seem really passionate about what they do and about students. And hey, here's just some miscellaneous stuff there. You see about 3.5 hours from Northside. We did determine that students would bring a bag lunch. There is some question. I just neglected to mention it until now. Someone had a really good idea about possibly asking students to bring their bags on Sunday, the day before we leave, both weeks. And I think it's a good idea. I could go either way. If you would like to ask your students to bring their bags, I'm not opposed to that. Okay. I don't think I'm going to put it out there for everyone, but if you want to ask your students to do that, I'm not opposed to it at all. Just a reminder, we'll be returning home around 12:30. If you can remind parents that. And another reminder about camp just being all about the kids. Hey, listen, some of you guys came to Christ at church camp. I know I did as a 14-year-old. I trusted Jesus at summer camp, and so it is huge to me. Okay, so please be prayed up, spiritually prepared, ready to lead your group, ready to be patient with students and love them, and students to feel like, I mean, it's just like this amazing experience, and they're going to come back and tell everyone about it. So yeah, and if you have any other questions, again, please do not wait. Contact me right away. Happy to answer anything you got, or at least try to find answers. I appreciate some of you leaders' patience as I reach out to Hume back and forth. So hey, thank you, and I will talk to you guys soon.